Hello and welcome to this particular subject, which we were calling Hook Story Close, and I really don't know where to place this one. I could have really placed this as subject number one. There are lots of important things that I have taken from my career and condensed this into a course to help you, but this is a journey. We're going to be working together. We're going to do some more courses, I hope, and this is part of the process. So this really is coming down to our message. How do we communicate? How do we communicate with our avatars, with our clients, with our suppliers, with everything we do? Now, we live in a digital world. We've come out of the Industrial Revolution, we've come out of the Agricultural Revolution, and we are now in the Information Revolution, the Information Age. And what is happening to us is we are all having a very short attention span. Now, this is being made even more difficult by the amount of advertising that is constantly coming at us through our social feeds, through our absorption of news and information. As humans, how we are actually taking that on board, and what we are keeping and what we are throwing away. Now, I would say to you that the majority of advertising and messages that are out there are not getting through. I would say 80 to 90% of those are not getting through. It's the complexity of the message which is causing the problem. We need clarity. We need things to be simple. So our message needs to get straight to the point. So if you were starting to look at how our landing page is going to be, how our website is going to be, I would say the majority of websites and landing pages that are out there are not getting to the core issues. So the core issues are how the human brain actually works. This is a 6,000-year-old evolutionary powerhouse that has gone through periods of history and still works in very fundamental ways, caveman style. It comes down to a book by Don Miller, which I'll leave a link into, so go a bit deeper into this subject. But essentially what it covers is the fact that the human brain does two things. It works on survive and it works on thrive. So what that means in terms of the information that is coming to it, it is taking that information and it is doing one of two things. It's either saying, is this particular product, is this particular bit of information gonna help me, and what's it going to do for me? So if you begin to take your advertising, take your message and carry on talking about yourself, you have lost it. We've done this in some of the other lessons, but this human instinct of survival is where this is coming from. So the human brain will look at information, will look at the written word, the spoken word, the video, and we need to be super clear, super quick as to what it is we do for our clients, our avatars. Don't start getting into too much complexity because you will lose it. So the brain is working to see how it's going to survive. Now, we live in a modern world, and we're thankful to live in a modern world because the brain is more, where am I going to find shelter? Where am I going to find food? How am I going to survive? It will use those tactics, but in a modern world, it is still computing in the same way. Immediately, split seconds these days, on social feeds, on sites, on how we're trying to find people, it's literally going straight in. It is being computed. Is this going to be for me? Is it going to help me? Is it what I want or not? Straight away in the bin, out of there. That is not. It's not going to help me. So The other thing is that how is it going to make me thrive? Am I going to, am I going to take, am I going to take great benefit out of this situation? How is it going to make me thrive? What's it going to do for me? Just tell me straight away. Don't start to allow the complexity of your message to stop the basic human instincts of survive and thrive, because otherwise you're wasting your time. So if we then take this down into our storyboard, we're looking at that situation now in a marketer's world as to the hook. So when we're starting to write, either we're writing copy, or we're doing a website, or we're doing a landing page, or we're writing a sales letter, this three-step process is how you are helping that person very quickly survive and thrive. So when you start off the process, we do what we call the hook. We have to grab their attention straight away. We cannot start making things too complex, because like a landing page, we only want it to achieve one thing. We're trying to gather an email address, so we are building an asset of customers, of prospects, and then we're going to keep communicating to them. So in the sales process, as to what you're going to write, how you're going to devise your message, you must go through this process of hook, story, close. So let's just go through how that process actually starts to work. So the hook is a grabber. It's a grabber. It's going to grab the attention of the individual. Let's take this to the basics. So let's use my avatar, Amy. I know Amy. I've pictured her. She's my perfect client, and I want to do as much as I possibly can for her. What am I going to instantly say to Amy that particular morning? Now, here's one that is a great grabber and has been used by several people far more educated than I am. Have you ever looked in the mirror in the morning and ever thought to yourself, should I be further ahead by now? That is appealing to all of us who get ready, all of us who are starting off, and it is a grabber. It is a particular hook that is grabbing the attention, that they want to read on, they want to continue, because you've just put a question in their mind, and in marketing terms, we want to be joining our avatar in their thought process. So what we've put into their mind, we are now entering the process to join our avatar as they are beginning to think of this process. So we're approaching our avatar, we want to find clients, we want to engage with them, and we want to show them how we are going to help them, what they're going to get out of it. How are they going to survive and thrive? We need to show them as quickly and as simply as we possibly can. So there's our grabber. In the notes that you've got in the download, try and think of a few grabbers, a few attention grabbing headlines. You can do a bit of research online, but start your process off, or your sales page, with that process of your hook. You need to stop them in their tracks. It is something that you're going to be scrolling down through some social feeds. When we look at our Facebook advertising with Ben, you're going to feed through there on Instagram or Facebook, and it's going to be one of those images. So that can be an image as well as a written word. So it's still a grabber. An amazing picture can grab your attention. A stunning color. But just remember the basics of the psychology of the survive and thrive. Don't start blitzing lots of complications at them. This is very simply only a hook. That's all it has to do. We then get into our story part of our sales process, or our landing page. So you think of a landing page, it's not going to have a lot of space for tons and tons of complexities, because we're not going to be doing complexities. So the story side of it is when you are going to hit some other human psychological traits that the survive and thrive technique is going to come. So we're going to want to overcome objectives. We're going to want to show social proof, like a case study. We want to build trust. These are just all mental triggers in the psychological part of the human trait. We want to expose weaknesses. We want to share the results that they're going to get. What happens if they accept this offer? What's it going to give them? How's it going to make them feel? So the story is where you're going to just try and take some of those items, and you're going to deliver value, deliver a vision, create a story around your hook as to the human parts of that they are going to be. So we want to overcome objectives. We want social proof. So the human trait, the tribe, is going to look for some identity within its other tribe as to it's all okay. Those people do this as well. So this is survive. This is thrive. I'm going to have social acceptance because I can see other people are doing it. They're eating that particular animal on the floor. A basic instinct. Right, we can all go in, and this is safe. Social proof. We're going to build trust. The humankind is going to want trustworthiness. They want to know that if they're going to start dealing with you, that they've made a good decision. They trust you. They can see that you have authority. So authority is another one. You want to try and show your authority in your particular subject matter. You want to tell them what's going to happen to them. What's going to happen to them if they deal with you, and what is going to be the end result. We said in another one of these lessons that we want to see the end result. It's very important for the humankind to know what they're going to get at the end of this process. So the humankind will still have lots of fears. They will still, they want security. The story, the hook, the story, the close. The story is again a human psychological experience, that the stories that we come up with are again age-old feelings within the brain as to how we have communicated over thousands of years with each other. Is that we have shared a story, and we then are beginning to have acceptance. So within our offers, within how we write our subject, clearly and to the point, is that we want to try and include a story, because the story within this process is going to overcome a lot of those mental triggers, those human traits in a simple format. After you've grabbed their attention, you've shared a story which overcomes all of those fears, and then we go for a close. So the close, or the call to action, is very, very important. We've spoken about this sales process. We've discussed amongst ourselves that this is not a difficult thing. This is not a difficult thing because we are not selling. We are helping these people out. It is our duty to try and help those people find that right restaurant. For us to share with them that we've been to this restaurant. It was absolutely amazing. You want to make sure that you go there, and I'll give you the address. address, and here's the phone number, give them a call right now. That's a call to action. So within our process here, we have gone through the processes that we end up then on our close. Now, if I give you an example, I'll tell you a story which will cover this last part. One of my best sales guys that I had, Tony, he was he was a fantastic presenter. You know, he used to go through the schemes, he used to put the slides up on the projector or on the screen. We used to talk through the project so well, and the clients literally would sort of be leaning over at the table to say, you know, where do I sign? You know, what do I do next? How do I move forward with you? You know, how do I place an order? He would go through this whole process, and you know, he was a great presenter, but his sales figures, his conversion rates were average, to say the least. So when I actually went to one of his presentations, I too was, I would have bought it. I would have bought the project because he delivered it so eloquently. He talked through the designs and the reasons and the schemes, and it was fantastic. And he got towards the end where the clients were literally leaning over saying, this is it. And they would look at each other and they would say, right, what do we do next? Tony would then get to the stage where he would go, you know, he would physically sort of lean back at the end of the presentation, his shoulders would drop a little bit, and he would start to sort of apologize, and he would, you know, if you do want to go ahead, you know, we can sign some papers at the end of this, or I'll send you something in the post, and you know, and thanks, and shake hands and say the goodbyes. Hope you enjoyed it. So it was this fear of asking for the call to action, and it is human nature that people, once you've overcome these objectives, the very next human nature will be, I agree with you, I feel safe, you have authority, I can see what's going to happen to me if I take this scheme on. I feel happy that there's no risk to me, there's no dangers around, and you know, but what do I do next? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And if you don't deliver, or you don't say what it is, right, so if you do want to deal with me on this scheme, I want to be the person who delivers this. I want to run this project. I've run several projects like this. I've been with the design team right from the beginning, and if I have covered all of your objections and you've accepted that the price is right, could I be the one who runs this project for you? If so, could you sign my contract? Could you do this, that and the other? You brought that with you, and you clearly then say your call to action is, here's my contract. If you'd like to just sign the bottom, we can get straight into it. I'll have my people send over some invoices, we can get all the deposits sorted out, and then I will work a project plan up, and then we will be on site at such and such and such a time. So if that call to action is what I'm trying to say to you, is the importance that you are prepared at the end of your process as to how you then close. And you want to be a closer, not a poser. So someone who actually is taking action, is taking authority for the work you do and the pride you take in what you are delivering. The pride is telling your avatar, you want to do the project, you can't wait to see the end result, you can't wait to make this a case study, and so what I need you to do is here's the contract, if you can just put a signature on the bottom, etc., etc., whatever your process is, but the human brain will be going through the processes and they will want to see what I do next. So in the first part of this, we spoke about the survive and thrive and the clarity and the clear message that you are trying to get across in all of your sales processes, all your copy that you're writing, all of the images that are going out, super clear, straight to the point, cover survive and thrive, mental techniques, and then you are understanding your client. They are feeling you understand them, and this is where the human nature, you've covered everything off, you've given them scarcity, you've given them, you've overcome the problems, you've given them social proof, the human feelings have been satisfied. You've told them now, this is what you do next, and they know you understand them, but you've got to close it. Okay, this is a very important subject. I think I put it somewhere up towards the top of the lessons. Thanks a lot.